Hey, how's it going, Ruthless Church? It's me, Pedro. I'm here in Bolton, Massachusetts, is where I live, actually. And we live in a town where there are a lot of apple orchards, and they're really famous for their apple cider donuts. And one of their biggest fans is my daughter, Callista. So today, I took her to this little place that you can jump around and do some little gymnastic stuff. And then after it was over, she asked me for a treat, to which I said no. And then she said, well, Dad, you're not in charge. God is. So I guess that's the side effect of talking about God so much to a 4-year-old. But at any rate, she told me that God was in charge of her having a donut, not me.
What I really meant about is I could have apple cider and a donut.
Oh, that's what you meant? Okay. I don't know if you're in the video or not, but okay. So, at any rate, she meant that she could have apple cider and a donut, and that God was the one that told her that she could have it. And then she proceeded to tell me that if I did not follow what God had guided her, that meant I was trying to force God to say no to something that God had already said yes to. And I listened to her, not because of her logic, but because I was at a space where I was...
drink this, okay?
Not yet. God said no. Okay. So,
no right now?
Not right now.
After you do this?
Yes. Okay, so you see how candid these videos are. At any rate, you heard that? She said I'm forcing God. At any rate, so she said that, and I thought about it. And I thought about within myself whether or not I was resistant to her desire for the donut for my own personal logical reasons, or if I had good reasons or what. And I wasn't going to get in a power struggle, because really a lot of times in life I see so many things that happen. It's because people get in power struggles with their kids or their spouses or something like that. They just want to show what power they have, so they'll say no to something that they might within themselves want to say yes to, or yes to something they want to say no to, just to prove that they have some kind of power. And I come from the standpoint that actually all power comes from God, and that outside of God there is no power. That's my position. So I listened to my daughter, and I kind of sat with what she said, and I said, you know what? I'm in the flow in this moment. And if it so happens that the flow leads to the donut, we will both find out that God said yes, and we'll just see what happens. And so we drove around, did a couple things, and then so happened that we passed the donut place. And, I felt inside of myself that, yeah, let's go have this donut. And I didn't even get one for myself. I basically was like, hey, you know what? You can have this donut, and you don't even have to share it with me if you don't want to. And guess what this kid did? She actually, of her own accord and own whatever, shared the donut with me. I guess God said yes to me having some donut too, and I didn't even know it. So the point of this blog post is that, I asked the kid.
With you, Dad?
You did share it with me. And she shared it with me because she loved me. And that's awesome. A lot of times in life, God does say yes. Actually, it was... Okay, one moment. That's not the way you open it. But at any rate... Wait a second, I'll show you. At any rate, sorry for the candidness, y'all. But God says yes and amen is what I was always taught. That God's answers to prayers are yea and amen. Yea means yes, and amen means it is what it is, or that is so. And so, I just wanted to say out there that you're here. That means God said yes to you. And why not live in that and see what God said yes to? A lot of times we live our lives in resistance because we're trying to prove our own power instead of resting in the power that comes from the source of all power. Don't do that. So, anyway, see what God said yes to in your life.
I was going to make an apple tree.
Wow, she was going to make an apple tree out of pouring apple cider on the ground. Talk about miracles. Anyway, peace. God said yes.